OK, let's talk to a Reform UK leader of Lancashire County Council, Councillor Stephen Atkinson. Stephen, you've just heard what we were saying about it there, feeling very uncomfortable about the general direction of travel that things are going in at the moment. I don't know if your council is one of these that's involved, but what do you make of it?
No, we had elections this year and huge changes in Lancashire. The Conservatives fell from 46 councillors to 8, and Labour fell from 32 to 5. And this is what's going to happen in these elections. So in my opinion, the government are running scared. And you lose democracy one small step at a time. You know, Christopher's just talked about jury trials. These fundamental rights that we have they're being removed that weren't in the Labour manifesto. And this is a dangerous time because people feel very frustrated that their voices are not being heard. And in some cases, these councils, it'll be 8 years before there's been an election, because what's not being pointed out is that the shadow elections, so the existing councillors continue for another year. So I think the fact that, you know, the Secretary of State said these were going to go ahead, the fact that the Minister in the House of Commons said they were going to go ahead, and now this statement comes out on the last day before Parliament ends, where they can't be challenged, is symptomatic of a cynical attempt to deny people democracy.
Reminiscent of a controversial memo in September 2001, a good day to bury bad news.
Yes,
but what the government say here, of course, is that this isn't sinister in any way, shape or form. This isn't politicking. This isn't because they hope that the support for reform, or indeed to a lesser extent the Greens, will go down in the next year or two while we wait for these elections. They say this is because they're reorganising local government. The lower tier is going to be amalgamated into the upper tier. There's no point in electing one of these councils that's only going to serve for about 12 months before it's abolished. What do you say to that?
It'll be 2 years. There's only Surrey where it'll be 1 year. It'll be 2 years for the others, if they can do 20 million people in 1 year, which I don't believe they can. So when they cancelled the elections last year in those areas, they said it was for devolution. And now they've cancelled devolution for 2 or 3 years. So they're finding another reason, which is local government reorganisation, which is separate to devolution. It's kind of find any reason you can. But the big test here is for Kemi Badenoch. You know, James Cleverly was clear this morning that these elections should go ahead. Kemi Badenoch needs to come out as leader of the Conservative Party and tell those county council leaders, those leaders of those district councils, that these elections must go ahead. Otherwise, she's as bad as the Labour Party and should be tarnished with that same brush.
I mean, we have heard from many Conservative, when we're covering the story yesterday, many Conservative councillors saying, we're ready to go ahead. There's nothing to stop this happening. And we've heard many councils saying that. I mean, obviously, they do have the choice. They can do it if they want to. They don't have to. But most councils are saying, we're ready to go.
Well, there's another thing here. The gold principles that the Blair government brought in said you shouldn't change elections within 6 months. This was after catastrophic elections in Scotland. And the key principles were that they must be predictable, announced in good time, and handled in a way that protects confidence in democracy. That's not happening, because I've been told by Labour leaders that these conversations with Downing Street have gone on for weeks and weeks and weeks, whilst these conversations are happening and ministers are saying something different. So I think there's a real problem here, and it's appalling. It really is appalling. But what the minister did say, which I find strange, is that parish and town councils can go ahead. They're in the same places as the district councils. Got the same polling booth, the same count, but you're stopping one from the other because somehow they haven't got capacity to do it. This is ludicrous. This is nonsense.
Well, that is an absolutely fascinating point. Stephen Atkinson, leader of Reform UK on Lancashire County Council, thanks indeed for joining us. A really, really interesting discussion there.